Remember, if you have to use lethal force, that more than likely someone is using lethal force against you, so you must always wear your protective gear.
Protective vest, stab proof, ballistic, and what I have on now is actually ceramic plates with a carrier. These things they're not that expensive anymore. I think this thing cost me about 300 or so dollars altogether, two plates and a carrier. The You got to always consider the purpose or the reason you're buying a carrier for in the performance of police or security work. Like for instance, you're working in a jail and you're going to be primarily in the jail, you might want to get something that's ballistic and stab proof. If you're working out in a rural area where you'd be exposed to like rifle fire or something, then maybe something like this would help. Or anything where it's in an urban environment as well. Every one of those styles, like the bullet resistant versus like the plate carriers, all have different advantages. I had the chance to work with a company. It's called Bullet Safe, and they make soft ballistic carrier plates. And I actually worked with them, or actually started doing an order with them way back for a organization I was working for, because a lot of the people that were working that organization were obese, or not obese. Sometimes they're just big people, and so I needed something. I wanted to get them with the ballistic carrier where it's going to be resistant for rifle like 7.62, because they're on the border, and a lot of the inmates they were transporting were cartel members. So it just makes sense to give them something that's a little more, resistant towards like AK-47, or which is 7.62 by 39, or 5.56 like AR ammunition. So for that company, Bullet Safe, I asked them, it was a special order. I was able to get the plates, soft plates, a lot larger, and I got a larger carrier, like 11 by 14, and it covered most of, or nearly all of the torso area. And that's what these carriers are built for. This thing's built for not necessarily to protect your entire torso. You're protecting your vital organs. And so why I'm wearing this and why I'm talking to you about this is because I believe that if you run a security organization, or you run an organization that has some type of security asset, that anybody that may be exposed to those environments, that may be working in that field of security work, it would be cost effective to you to buy them the right gear that fits them, and that it's built for what the purpose of the work they're going to be performing. In correctional transport, I believe that ballistic carriers plates are important, because more than likely the impacts of rounds, if you were to be ambushed in a vehicle, are going to hit. They're going to probably hit your face, or they're going to hit your plate. If they hit you in the face, you may or may not survive, but for sure, if they hit your heart, or some of those veins that run from your heart down into your extremities, then you're in most cases you're dead. So I'm just voicing this out there to everybody. If you're gonna work in the field of security or corrections, law enforcement, you should consider investing in your own gear. I hate to say it, but working for some organizations, sometimes it takes too long, and sometimes they buy you the wrong stuff, because the people that perform the acquisitions, the people that actually buy the stuff, most times they're not corrections, police, security. They're not professionals in that field. Most of those people are just clerical staff. And so they will most times either go with what's the cheapest, or they might not understand the standards. Like for instance, for women now, there's new types of ballistic gear that fit, their breast area, their chest, to where it's not as bad. But when it comes to these ballistic carriers, it's rigid, so it's not you don't have as many options. But like for instance, you get that 1114 plate, it might cover more area, and it might be more comfortable, because like I said, I got a soft plate when I was buying it from Bullet Safe. So these are just tips, ideas, thoughts. If you're working in any country that ballistic carriers are highly controlled, or any state or jurisdiction where it's restricted. You need to look up your laws and see what the standards are, what are the restrictions, and what are the waivers. For instance, if you work in a security field and you're carrying a gun, whenever I dealt or had anything involved with my colleagues, anybody that I train, whenever we carry a gun, I would have them put a carrier on. Either their own, or I'd pull a loaner vest out of my closet and put it on them, because something's better than nothing, and also to get them used to having a vest on when they're training. Big deal. If you really care about what you're doing, or you care about the people that work for you, invest in some type of ballistic carrier and plates, or ballistic bulletproof vest. Well, I wouldn't call it bulletproof, but ballistic resistant vest that will be able to help create some type of mitigation when it comes to being shot at. Talk to you guys soon.